Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame. So this is the recap for the season finale of The Chi. I saw it a little while ago and it was pretty good. I wanted to do various shows combined, but I mean I don't really have anything that I wanted to do it with this week, so I was just gonna do this one by itself. So anyway, so this, episode started out with just showing what everybody was doing to lead, us into this episode. It showed how Brandon and his girlfriend are kind of like passing ships in the night. That's what I wanted to say last time. It came out all of a sudden right then, but they're like passing ships in the middle of the night. She on her way out of here. You could tell that it's very tense at the house, and I'm like, Lord. And Kevin, Keisha's brother, he is in his feelings because, his mama put him on punishment and all this other stuff. And despite what he feels like he wants, his mama has all that information out there for him to know, oh, you're going to go to the school. You're going to get bused to that school. That's what you're going to do. So he in his feelings, he go ahead and leave and go to school. Then they have Emmett. I don't know why last week I couldn't think of his name when I was doing my Love Thoughts video, when I actually did have that, this show and a couple of other shows that I could kind of put together and do a video on. But in this episode, he is at work and in his feelings, and he's been avoiding Keisha, which is one of his children's mothers who is pregnant, and it might be his child. And I'm just glad that later on within this episode, he actually says, I don't even know if this child is mine or not, because that really is a possibility. It probably is his, I don't know, but we've seen her actually deal with somebody else, unless she was just saying that to make him jealous, even though I'm like, why? He ain't have nothing to offer you before now. So it's like, why would you do that? Anyway, I don't know. Unless that's the situation, then there's a possibility he's not the father. So yeah. Y'all, I was just like, okay, I don't get it. Y'all are just doing too much. I don't get it. So let's see, who else? They have shown Ronnie, which is the guy who killed Coogie, the drunk, y'all. I don't have time. I don't like him. Like, it's just something that's always been about him that's made me look at him like, he just looks trifling and raggedy and just, ugh. Y'all, anyway, I get to him later on. So basically, Kevin goes to school and he runs into the girl who he liked. I don't know why I can't think of her name in this moment. But anyway, ran into her and she gives him some stuff back and some stuff that she had gotten for him on his behalf, because it's just something that she wanted to do because she liked him too. So, he gonna try to roll up on her and apologize. And so she was like, whatever, I thought you were different, but you were just like your dusty friends, just like everybody else. And I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I felt that. Even though he really does like her, I hate when people do that. Don't sit up here and try to play me because you like me. You thought that I was fine. You rolled up on me, even though she's aggressive. Y'all know that this is a TV show, but there are most situations, especially, I'm just use myself as an example. I ain't gonna speak for nobody else, I'm gonna speak for myself. In my case, there have been situations where I'm minding my business. I ain't say nothing to nobody. I ain't look nobody way. People roll up on me. People still roll up on me. And I don't want whatever they're selling. And they will roll up on me. And when their little friends come around, they try to act as if they don't know what's going on. And then they want to try to play me. And it's like, oh, you want to. And it's like, I had gotten so used to it when people who really were here for me came along, who really were or who really were men about their business. and they weren't ashamed of the fact that I'm fat. It's like, what does me being fat have to do with you liking what you see? If you like what you see, then you like what you see. You ain't gotta sit up and be like, oh, here come my friends. Ha ha, I don't nobody like her. I just kissed her because I feel sorry for her. Cause I was like, as soon as I said, man, he better not. I was hoping he was gonna cuss his friends out and be like, I like who I like. I said what I said, but he sat up there and did like most dudes do. They sit up there and try to play you. And then if she hadn't been where she was, she would have never known that he playing both sides. He's trying to appease what they like and at the same time trying to play her. And it's like, you over here playing her, but then you're trying to be like, oh, I really like her, but you know, I got to keep that hidden because she fat and I don't want my friends to be joking on me because I like that. And it's like, my thing is, if you like the person, you like the person. Because that's the thing, like, the same thing with her is usually what people like about me. They like what I look like. They like my shape. They like the fact that I was into stuff when I was in school. I was a nerd, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Because I believed in doing my schoolwork. And I actually liked the things I was doing in school. Like, I loved, like, everything in school that ain't had nothing to do with math. As long as there wasn't no math class, I loved it. So yeah, I really enjoyed school. I mentioned to y'all before that I hated whenever school was out and I was like, okay, so when school gonna get back in? I don't care if we was out for summer. I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go to school. Like, I probably wasn't going nowhere anyway, so it ain't like I was like, oh, I can't wait for us to get out because I'm going to Aspen. I'm going to this place. So it's like, I don't care anything about any of that, so there's that for me. But yeah, y'all, I just can't. I don't have time. I don't like stuff like that. Either you gonna like me for me, or you can go that way with that foolishness because I don't have time. I just don't. So Ronnie has rolled up on Jada and he's trying to apologize, and you know, ain't nobody trying to hear that. You trying to make people believe that you changed, but you still doing the same thing. When one little thing don't go your way, oh, time for me to go get drunk and be mad and in my feelings. When there are all these people who are actually rooting for me, that really believe in me, people who actually like me and want to be with me after all I've done. Sir, you sat up here and killed a child. You killed somebody that was the same age or almost the same age as her child, and she's still trying to give you a chance. Like, nah. So she was at his grandmother's house, which of course y'all know is where he lives, and she was basically like packing up her stuff and he trying to apologize, and then the ex came over because she agreed to take him to the places that he needs to go because his license has been taken because he was trying to drive drunk. And that detective already said, I'm going to follow you wherever you go. If you do what you ain't got no business doing, I'm going to be there. Wherever you at, I'm going to be there, all this other stuff. So she ended up walking in the house, and then they were in the middle of their little thing or whatever. And then she was like, yeah, I'll go. So Jada left, and she was kind of looking like, well, ooh, he all in his feels. He was like, I really like her. I messed up. And then he actually told her what happened. And I was like, I can't believe you actually told her how trifling you are. But, you know, I guess that's somewhat of some growth. But yeah, y'all. So anyway, she ended up proposing that they go to Arkansas, I think, which is where her grandchild is going to be because the mother moving away. Oh, and I mean, that's an amazing thing to do. Anyway, if you're going to get away, especially get away from somewhere like Chicago, do what you got to do because Chicago, y'all be doing the most. I know Montgomery be doing the most, but y'all really be doing the most. And I just be like, why? Why, Lord? So, he kind of was, and this is the thing, I hate when he does this. He'll try to make it seem like he busy. He be like, I don't know if I want to go. And I'm like, you ain't working nowhere. You ain't doing nothing. All you do is sit up at your grandmama's house all day. You barely say hey to her. Like, you ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing. So yeah, you can go. Anyway, he basically said, yeah, I'll roll out. And see, I was wondering what he was looking for in his drawer. So he went back in the house and, you know, he started packing his bags and all this other stuff. And his grandmama, you know, wanted to know where he was going because she noticed he was packing a bag. And so he was like, I'm going to Arkansas to see my grandson. I know I'm wrong. Leave me alone. He irks my soul so bad. I know he's a character. That character irks my soul. I don't know about the person in real life, but the character irks my soul. So anyway, he was like, I'm going to Arkansas to see my grandson. So anyway, she was like, well, ain't nobody tell me nothing. When was somebody gonna tell me? Like, she really is, I mean, I understand he lives at her house, but she really be like, y'all need to let me know every little thing that happened in life. And I just be looking at her like, ma'am, even though he is living at your house, I don't know if he really is supposed to be obligated to tell you when he gonna go and have a bowel movement, and when he gonna go walk out the door and put the trash outside, and when he gonna go mow the yard, and I don't know. Oh, excuse me, y'all. See, look at me trying to yawn now, and I literally have not slept all night. I have not slept at all, y'all. It's so sad. I took a nap yesterday, and I haven't had any sleep. So y'all, excuse me. I know I look even worse than I normally do because I have anemia, so I look even more like a raccoon today. So anyway, I'm trying to get through this video. Y'all, so anyway, she and her feelings, she always, y'all know she mad all the time anyway. So anyway, Brandon was at his truck and he was doing what he always does. He's selling his tacos. Then all of a sudden, they end up needing to do a search on his truck. He trying to figure out why. And so, you know, they announced why. They end up searching his truck. Of course, they find his gun. I'm like, why are you being dumb? I understand you live where you live, but you don't even have it. You don't have a license for that. You don't have a license. So why do you have that gun? Especially after you done already got a heads up that all this stuff is going on. You done talked to the man. He said, you done talked to what is his name? Doodah, or whatever his name, whatever Otis Perry little street name is or whatever. You done talked to him. He done finally threw the facade away. Was like, yeah, I'm Doodah, or whatever he said his name is. I am who I am. And he wasn't putting on that, I just believe in the youth. I believe in the people who are coming up behind me, and I just want to lend a helping hand. No, you're just all about self like everybody else. But anyway, why would you have it on your truck? And then you had a heads up on the woman on y'all, I want to say Boudreaux. What is that woman's last name? Y'all, this ain't Queen Sugar. Oh my gosh, I don't know why. Her name escapes me because I've always heard of that last name. But anyway, it's one of those names that you usually hear like when you down south, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully I'll remember it later on. But anyway, her and some of her folks was searching the truck, and I'm just like, Lord, why are you this dumb? He ended up getting arrested. Then they took him down to go talk and to see, you know, what was going on. He told me, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even understand why y'all searched my truck, all this other stuff. Whatever, y'all. Oh, Lord, y'all. I'm just like, how dumb can you be? How dumb can you be? Y'all, I can't. I was just so tired. I was like, I can't believe you. That's how stupid he has to be. Y'all, eventually, Ronnie and his ex go on their trip, and they seem to be getting along fine. Look like they're taking the scenic route. And I'm like, that car old, and it's a gas guzzler, and I would not be taking no scenic route to do nothing. To drive from Chicago to Arkansas. That is something I definitely would not do. Lies. Because ain't Arkansas closer to Alabama than it is to Chicago? Y'all, I can't even think. Ain't Arkansas? I got some oceanfront property in Arizona. From my front porch, you can see the sea. Y'all, that song is everything. But anyway, it's a good country song. It's a good country song right there. Excuse me. My throat is doing the most. But yeah, they doing the most in his car. Now, I ain't gonna lie, she was smart about that because she had her a Jeep. I mean, she got a gas guzzler too, but dang, if we're gonna use up the gas, we need to burn it out of your car. Tear your car up some more if it's gonna get towed up. That's how I was, because when I saw that, I was like, okay, because at first they were in her little Jeep thing or whatever, and I was like, okay. But y'all, they road tripping, and I'm like, okay, whatever. They end up going to Arkansas for the christening. So whatever. Brandon is finally released. I guess Otis Perry came and bailed him out. Y'all, as he's leaving, meaning Otis Perry, Brandon's girlfriend comes in, Jerica, and she looking like, what is he doing here? And I'm like, girl, you know what he doing there. But anyway, she in her feelings, and she walk off from him, and she was salty like for the rest of the episode, y'all. It was just a lot going on. So he in his feelings because their relationship is still on the rocks. And it's like, this all could have been avoided if you had to listen to her in the beginning when she was just like, nah, bro, don't do it. So anyway, they ended up eventually getting into a fight when they get to the house. Well, when he gets to the house, and or whatever, whenever they are at the house together for once. But like I told y'all, they are like ships sailing in the night, passing in the night. Ships passing in the night. Anyway, I probably said that wrong too. But anyway, my bad. So she's trying to understand what's going on. She realizes that he is who he is, meaning Otis Perry and his affiliation. And so she's like, well, how long have you known this? Because of, what his actual status is. And so he trying to make it seem like, I just found it out today. He over here lying. She's seeing through the lies. She get tired of her spirit, and she like, I gotta go, whatever. So she end up eventually leaving because y'all know she's very busy. She's booked. She's working. She has other things to do that don't include this. So anyway, y'all, tell me why Emmett, he's at work. Y'all know he's a manager. So he look like he's doing some paperwork, in-depth paperwork. And so somebody roll up on him, and he looking like, how can I help you? Or we closed or something. And it's his dad. His daddy to roll up on him and was like, well, I can't speak to my son for a few minutes. Anyway, he ended up like, he was like, so this is why you couldn't answer my phone calls. Apparently he'd been trying to get in contact with him because the child's mother, who is pregnant, she's been trying to get in contact with him, and he's been basically ignoring her. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think it was Keisha. I think it was the baby mama, the child's mother, whichever one that's pregnant. She's been trying to get in contact with him and all that. So that's when he ends up telling him that, she's pregnant. And I think she told the daddy that he's pregnant, or he told him. Anyway, what happened was, girl brought his baby that's already here to see them. And so he got mad. He was like, she shouldn't have did that. If I want to bring my son around you when I want to, if I want to. He was like, man, who you supposed to be? That's my grandchild. I see my grandchild if I want to. So I was like, Lord have mercy, y'all doing the most. But anyway, they got into it. He was like, look, man, I was just coming to tell you that, and to let you know that, I got some clothes that my son that grew out of that you can get your kids or whatever. So then on his way out, he was like, I just want to tell you one more thing. And he looked at him like, here we go. And he was like, congratulations. So he walked off. I was like, okay, I can't believe you even did that. So the congratulations were in order. I was like, okay, I can't believe you actually, did that. I'm glad he actually said that, because sometimes he be acting foolish. Y'all, so anyway, Brandon is, since he's out, he went back to work, and he look up the street. It's like, it ain't nobody out there right now. So he look up the street. He looking like, I know this ain't who I think it is. And it is Ronnie. Ronnie is at the community center, which of course is affiliated with Otis Perry. He's just like, y'all ain't finna say his name. It's just like somebody who's around here who buys up everything, and everything gotta have a name on it, and every time you look up you see their face, even though they are very dirty. This person is very much so in cahoots with Trump, like for real. Like y'all have seen it, it's made national headlines and some more. Y'all ain't got time. So anyway, he was like, what we not finna do is this. So he closed up shop and rolled up on him. And before he even realized that he rolled up on him, he rolled up on him, and he ended up speaking his piece. And, he was talking about how he's noticed him at his brother game before and all this other stuff. And then it just got to a point where Ronnie actually apologized for killing his brother. And he was like, you know, I think that now you feel how I felt when we found out that my brother got killed, when everything happened to his son. So yeah, you know, he basically, in everything that he did, he basically met up with him and was like, you know, I forgive you, without really even full out saying it, but that's what it was. Y'all, tell me why. Look, y'all, I'm watching the episode. I'm looking at it, right? I'm like, oh, Lord, that pizza look good. Y'all, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm thinking that I'm watching a commercial. Y'all, this is his little commercial. Otis Perry's commercial on here for his pizza joint. And I've heard about and seen pictures of these pizzas that Chicago is supposed to be known for. And I feel like it's probably trash, because I'm like, why we got 5,000 pounds of sauce and no cheese or barely any cheese? I don't understand. But that pizza, I don't know what was going on, but it made my stomach growl. I got hungry all of a sudden, and I hadn't eaten either. I was like, okay, this is too much. I ain't got time. Y'all gonna have to stop all of this. So anyway, what I did fail to mention was that earlier in that day, Otis Perry sent some of his goons to pick up Reggie's son, brother, my bad, not son, his brother. And he was like on his way to school or right outside of the school. He was walking with Papa. So one of the dudes rolled up and was like, you gotta get in the truck or whatever. And so Papa was like, yeah, I think you need to go ahead and go. Because dude was like, you know, if you don't get in here, I'm gonna pick you up and put you in there. So he ended up going in there. So what happened was he ended up taking him to his pizza place, the restaurant that's actually like his main location or whatever. So anyway, all this led up to this moment where Reggie is at the establishment with Otis Perry, talking to him, trying to figure out what he want with him this time. So he talking to him, and he was like, look, I want to integrate your brother into the business. I want him to start working here, like eventually start working here after school and running errands and doing all the other stuff. And of course, still doing some illegal activity. You know, we just sprinkled that in there like it was just nothing. And I was like, oh, alrighty. So anyway, because he was like, you know, we got to train up the youth. We got to train up the youth for the future. And so it got to a point where Reggie was like, you know, is there something that I, you know, can do? Because he really wants to make sure that he's doing everything in his power to keep Otis Perry happy. And he was like, oh no, there's nothing else you need to do. You've been doing everything you need to do. So he was like, oh, okay. So then when he was done, he ended up going over to his brother, was like, you saw me? I was just over there talking to Otis Perry. We over here talking about what we need to do for you and how we gonna, you know, put you on the scene later on. Okay, cool. Hey y'all, I don't know if I finished what I was saying earlier, but I had a technical difficulty to arise. But old boy Reggie was sitting up there trying to tell his brother how amazing it's gonna be, and it's just like, Lord, stop. Anyway, so Kevin rolled up to Brandon's house. So apparently every Thursday or every other Thursday, he has a standing appointment with him for him to cut his hair. So he was like, what you doing here? He was like, today's Thursday, you're supposed to cut my hair. So he was like, oh. He was like, oh, I didn't even think about it. So anyway, he came in and, you know, was trying to figure out what was up with him. And he was, every time he come in, he'd be like, where your girl? She don't never be there no more, y'all. And, you know, a lot of us know that it's because of what's going on in real life. So, Lord, I'm tired. It's their way of phasing him off the show. But, oh well, he's dumb. He had an award, at least one award nomination and everything, y'all. They didn't took it back from him, so oh well. That was his fault. He decided to be stupid. So anyway, so he's talking to him, and you know, he was asking him what was up with his girl, and he was like, man, I don't even want to talk about this. He was like, look, whatever advice I gave you about women before, just forget it all. And basically, you know, just let it be plain that everything was, he made it seem as though, you know, things were not amazing right now between him and his girl. So he was in his feelings. So yeah. Then he actually, you know, Kevin actually opened up about his situation, which was him being stupid and allowing his friends to influence how he moves as far as people are concerned. If you like who you like, just like them and don't sit up there and be like, oh, my friend's gonna have something to say about it. So I said what I said earlier, y'all. I can't do it. So anyway, tell me why Jada is at home. And so she gets a knock on the door. So I'm like, this better not be. I mean, I was like, well, at first I said this better not be Ronnie, but then I thought about it. I was like, oh, he, road tripping right now. So I'm like, who is it? I know it ain't, what's his name? Because he got a key. I know he'll just barge in. Her son, Emmett. Y'all, it's the ex, which is Emmett's daddy. He done rolled up. She got a chain on the door. Like, she ain't trying to hear nothing, right? And so she just looking at him like, what you want? I don't understand what you doing here. So anyway, he talking through the door, right? And he was like, look, I just came by because he ain't been, he wouldn't return my phone call, and I ended up going to his job, and basically gave her the rundown of what happened when he popped up at his job, but then added in the fact that, there's another child on the way. She was like, what? So then that's when she actually took the chain out the door, let him in. They started drinking together. So she was like, dang, we got another grandchild on the way. So it was like, yep. So they get to talking. And tell me why old boy in his feelings, because he's married to the woman who he's with now or whatever. He talking about, man, we can't even find time to be together, and we don't even have time to be together. I don't know when the last time we had sex. And then he had the nerve to talk about how the sex ain't what it was like when he was with her. And he was like, I'm not trying to be fresh or nothing, but I was just like, bruh, if you don't get somewhere and sit down, just stop. Y'all, I'm like, Jada is not finna be dumb like this. She ain't gonna do it. Y'all lies. Jada sat up there, and she fell right into the trap. He sat up there, kissed her. She was like, what you doing? And then he kept moving in, kissing her some more. And she was here for it. Then she sat up there, climbed on top of him, but took her shirt off and was about to unbuckle and do whatever else in order to get to the meat and potatoes. And then Emmett walked in. And then she go try to say, is that what you think? He was just so disgusted that he left the house. Y'all, I was just like, bruh, like, nah, there is no excuse. You need to stop. But yeah, y'all, it's just, So Jada rolled up on Emmett's job and was like, I need to talk to you. And they were closed at the time. For some reason, he left the door unlocked. I'm like, why are you leaving the door unlocked? You know how it is. Ain't no way I would live there and then I'm leaving the door unlocked. I don't care how busy I get. I'm going to go get up and unlock. I'm going to get up and lock the door real quick. And all honesty, no matter where I live, even if it was deemed to be one of the safest places in the United States, I would get up and lock the door because people are crazy. But anyway, she bust in. She ain't bust in, I just wanted to say she bust in. But she rolled up and, she was like, can I talk to you for a minute? So eventually, they went to a little booth and they sat down, they were talking, and she was trying to explain herself. He wasn't trying to hear. He was like, this is crazy. I don't understand. Why would you do that? Why you let him in? Why were you even talking to him? You know he's a married man, right? Y'all, it just got to the point where she was just like, look, I have needs, and your father and I have a complicated past history, all this other good stuff. And it's just stuff you would never understand. So he really was not understanding. Like, and I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't understand either. Even if I wasn't a man whore like him, I would not be here for it. I would not be trying to hear nothing she had to say. So it got to a point where she just had to say, look, I just need you to tell me, Ma, I understand. Just say, Ma, I understand. Just to, agree to disagree, basically. So he did, even though you could tell in the tone of his voice that he wasn't here for it. So, yeah. She eventually brought up the grandbaby. It's just, y'all, it's too much. Don't nobody be having time. It is really too much. And he trying to figure out what he gonna do and all that. So yeah. So, Jada basically had the talk with him and wanted to know, like, what is this that I hear about you having another child on the way with Tiffany, but you don't want to acknowledge her. I don't know why I kept saying Keisha, y'all. Tiffany is the person that I've been meaning to say this whole time. Keisha is Kevin's sister, so I apologize for saying Keisha this whole time. I've been meaning to say Tiffany. Tiffany is the woman who Emmett is pregnant by, if the baby is his. So anyway, Y'all disregard all the Keishas I was saying throughout this video. So he was like, look, I know what I gotta do. You ain't gotta say nothing or whatever. So y'all, the people are still road tripping and, you know, trying to get to the christening because the grandbaby's gonna get christened, and they actually extended an invitation, which I'm shocked because old girl didn't even want them to spend time with the baby no more. Not even the biological grandmama, because as we know, Ronnie ain't no kin to that baby and nobody else except his grandmama right now and his daddy, which moved away. So they're on their way. So now we get back to Jerrica and Brandon. They at the house, they talking, and she's really getting a sense of what's going on, and she's not liking it. And it gets to a point where he gets in his feelings because I think what happened was she came home from work, and so he was like, where you been? This is what you do? You just don't even... I think he came home because, you know, since he has that truck, he can make his own hours. What happened was he was laying on the couch, knocked out. And I guess because he was so tired, like if you are, I know for me, when I'm really, 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 really tired, I can be knocked out and a whole party's going on around me. I don't hear nothing. I mean, like if I'm dog tired like that, I don't hear nothing going on. So apparently she had walked by him, filled up a kettle of water, and put it on the stove. So he was awakened by the whistling of the kettle. So he looking like, what in the world? And he, you know, she walks past him. She ain't say, hey, bye. She ain't look in his direction. She politely walked over to the stove and turned it off. And so he sat there for a second, I guess still waiting to see if she's going to acknowledge him. He was like, so this is what we doing now? And we ain't speaking to nobody now? He was like, this done went too far. It don't need to be like this, whatever, y'all. So eventually he rolled up on her and was like, where you been all day? So he started getting in his feelings, and he sees like flyers or whatever paraphernalia or pamphlets and stuff that was in her hand that she had put down that had the alderman or whoever it was on it. So he was like, you was hanging out with him all day? This is who you been with? And she was like, of all the things, this is what you want to try to argue with me about? So then it gets to a point where she's just like, look, this is just too much going on. You knew about all this stuff that was going on with Otis and whatever. Like, it was just too much, y'all. Way too much. It got to a point where she was just like, I don't think I could do this no more. So he trying to read her, talking about how she's privileged and she would never understand the things that he's had to face and all this other stuff, which is true, but at the same time, sir, I'm gonna need you to pick your battles because you was already skating on thin ice with her and she don't need you. So she was just like, look, I think I need a break. I ain't got time. And then it's like he got mad when she said that because she was basically going toe to toe with him with the situation that was going on. So it got to a point he got real mad and he was like, you gonna respect me as a man and all this other stuff. She was like, yep, can't do it. I'm tired. I ain't got time for this. I don't think I can do this anymore. So then she took her ring off, put it on the counter and walked off, picked up her purse and was leaving. He tried to grab her arm. She said, don't touch me, and walked out the door. I'll be back for my things later. Y'all tell me why later on the episode, I guess he went back to work, or I don't know if it was the same day or not, but when he came home, whatever day that was, it was cleared out. It looked like nobody lives there at all. I don't understand what he has at the house. Because he looked up in the dishwasher, there was nothing there. He looked up in the cabinets, wasn't nothing in there. I wouldn't be shocked if she cleared out the refrigerator because it just wasn't nothing nowhere. It looked like it might have been a shirt or two in the closet, but everything else was cleared out. She took the sheets. she took the bedding. The only thing she left was like the sheets, I think. But she stripped the walls bare. I was like, girl, you done set it all. You done set it all. But yeah, y'all, it's too much. She got tired of her spirit and left, so. Emmett has his own place. It's not much. It's like a basement type situation, and you can tell that it's not the greatest, but it's a place. It's $300 a month. And his mama came and saw it, and she was just like, can't you save your money and get something better? And she tried to start an argument with him. He was like, I can't afford all that. Where you think I'm gonna stay? What you gonna let me do? Come back and live with you? And she was like, no. So he was like, all right then. So, you know, what you really think? And so she tried to say it has potential. So whatever. Y'all, eventually he goes to see Tiffany, and he went to see the baby. And y'all, they kept showing him and they kept showing the baby. And the baby was looking at him, and he just kept looking at the baby. He was like, when did he start doing that? Like, the baby started eating on his own. Like, it's like, sir, you don't be around at all to be amazed that the baby is actually now eating on his own. Like, yeah, you really ought to be ashamed. But yeah, and she said that he's been eating on his own for a while now. So I was like, oh, okay. So, and then he was in his feelings. He was like, do you think he still remember me? And so she was like, well, I don't know. I can ask and see. So, you know, they talked for a few minutes, and he was like, look, I'm sorry for ducking you and all that good stuff, but, you know, I was just scared and whatever. So it got to the point where she went in the room where the baby was, and, you know, she was like, your daddy's here and all this other stuff, and brought him to see him and whatever, y'all. I was like, okay, cool. I don't know whose child it is in real life, but that baby is so gorgeous. That little boy is so cute. I was like, oh my gosh, whose baby is this? Y'all excuse me, I just be doing the most. I don't know, my hair, y'all, it be looking like I'm a bald head scallywag to me online, like when I'm looking at it. But like in real life, y'all, I be getting people like, what? Oh my gosh, are you natural? Are you relaxing? You just straighten your hair sometimes? Like, people be rolling up, living for my hair. My hair be looking short. My hair be looking raggedy on camera. I don't know what that's about, but I just be like, no. That's why I be playing with my hair a lot, outside of being nervous anyway. But yeah, y'all, I don't know what in the world's going on. Y'all, but anyway, so Kevin, I forgot to tell y'all, when Kevin got his haircut, old boy asked him, like he always does, what you want this time? And so normally he just wanted to barely take anything off, just give him a lineup or something like that. He was like, you know, I want you to do what you did for your hair. He was like, what? Are you for real? He was like, yeah. So he ended up doing his hair like his, cutting it low. So I was like, okay, y'all. He done rolled up to the school. He was like, I think I need a change. So he rolled up to the school. Papa, you know, sees him first. And so he was like, oh, man, I can't believe you did that to your hair. And you ain't got the hair. Like, he was basically joking on here. Y'all know how Papa is. Talking about he actually has the hair for that. He ain't got one of those weird, funny shaped heads, because that's how some people do. They have hair all their life, or they end up with having hair and their head end up looking like a mess after they took all the hair off. I don't know, but anyway. So y'all, Kevin became tired of his spirit as soon as he rolled up, because he looked over to the left and he saw Jacob. I think that's what that boy name is, Reggie's brother. He saw Jacob selling drugs at the schoolhouse on the corner, doing the most. And I'm just like, sir, that's what we do. Oh, okay. So he was like, that don't make no sense. I almost got expelled and suspended for that. He just don't even care. And Papa tried to tell him the story of the frog and the scorpion and all this other stuff, which it still doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but I ain't gonna go into it because I don't want to mess it up. But anyway, moving on. Ronnie and his ex are at the christening. I mean, the baptism. Is it the christening? Baby gonna get baptized. I think it's a christening. But anyway, they are there. She is in love with the baby. She has the baby. The baby is getting this, like, the baby is all like this on it there. I'm like, yes. They be finding some cute babies. I'd be here for it. But yeah, so they are enjoying themselves. They're at this gathering. I mean, it's a big crowd. There are a lot of people outside, and they're inside right now. Tell me why Ronnie gonna roll up on her like, Jada, let me get the keys to the car. I was like, sir, if you don't, I promise you, I wanted to appear in the show and be like, sir, if you don't get away from here. Because he was like, Jada, let me get the keys to the car. And she had to excuse herself. She had to get somebody the baby, because you know how people do. Normally, you got to play past the baby and hope you get a chance and all that stuff. So she had to walk outside and be like, what do you want? What do you need these keys for? He was like, look, it's my car. It's my car. And so he was like, I got somewhere to go. I gotta go somewhere. And I'm like, oh my gosh, stop. Y'all, he get on my nerves. He get on my nerves so bad I can't do it. But anyway, I gotta go somewhere. I got some business I gotta handle. And so got to the point where she was just like, look, I don't even care no more. Take these keys, but if you're gonna be drunk when you come back, just don't even come back. And I'm like, dang, that's messed up. You're in a whole nother state, like states away from where you live. Like, dang. But I mean, I would rather that too. So if I had to find a hotel or hope to stay with the baby mama or somebody, I'd rather do that than to have to fool with him and then end up dead, wrapped around a tree trying to fool with him. Y'all, tell me why he done rolled off, and when he does get to his destination, I'm looking like, what kind of place is this? He must be, I instantly was like, oh, he must have found some place where they're selling some illegal moonshine. That's what my first thought was. I ain't even gonna lie, because they went to where? Arkansas. They went to the South, so I'm thinking, oh, you went to somewhere that got a distillery, a bootleg distillery. You found about, you had somebody to do some word of mouth to find out where a distillery was, where somebody was doing some bootleg moonshine. That's what I thought was going on. Y'all, he done pulled up in somebody's driveway, and I'm looking like, who is this finna be here? Y'all, he done pulled up in his daddy's driveway. He looking at him like, how'd you find me? And he was like, look, my grandmama, you know I live with my grandmama across the street from where you was living. And she's been keeping tabs on you. Anytime you move, she basically updates where he moves to. I don't know how she be finding out, but she do. So he was like, I took her information, and my grandbaby is up the street from you. And he was like, grandbaby? He was acting like he was all kind of here for that. I was like, if you don't get somewhere and sit down. Oh, but anyway, he did the most, and he was like, look, I've been going through a lot in my life, and I did some things that I'm not proud of. And he was like, yeah, I heard about that. And so he trying to act like he a little bit sorry on the inside because of what happened with that. And I'm like, you ain't sorry. Go somewhere and sit down. You are sorry, but you ain't sorry, if you know what I mean. And so he was in his feelings. And he was like, well, I'm going to do something for you that boy's brother did for me. And I'm going to forgive you. And so he just looked at him, and I was just like, oh, I'm going to sit down. So he went, leaned up on the car, and then he was like, well, I put all I had into this car, because the car he was driving, you know, of course, is his car. And he was like, if you'll let me, I'll teach you everything that I know so that you could really, you know, get it running how it needs to run. And so whatever, y'all. They eventually gonna be having a little bonding moment, and I ain't here for nothing, so I don't really care. But anyway, Emmett has baby-proofed his home, but I'm gonna talk about that because y'all, I was here for it at first, but then at the end of the scene, he had the baby because the baby mama came. And, you know, she wanted to check out the place to see if it really was baby-proof. She was like, oh, you really are serious. And so he was like, yeah, whatever, blah, blah. And I was like, Lord have mercy. So he was like, look, I don't know if, you know, he was like, well, what have you been thinking about? What do you plan to do as far as the other baby is concerned or whatever? And so he was like, oh, I don't know. She was like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but, you know. So he was like, well, whatever you decide, you know, I'll be here. So whatever. And so she was like, oh, okay. So that made her feel comfortable enough to give him his baby, and they had a moment, and he was over here with the baby, Lord, y'all. I was like, Lord have mercy. No, it had a cord. I said, I don't know if somebody put that in there so that when people do reviews or somebody says something, they want to know if somebody gonna actually say something about the baby proofing. I was like, oh my gosh, he had like this cord, and that baby is like walking enough to where it could just try to pull itself up and pull that cord out or whatever. Y'all, I was like, no, don't do that. Y'all, so anyway, Emmett, you know, is at work, actually working now. And in this scene that I'm talking about, because I kind of went back and forth, and Reggie and one of the main goons is with him. And so, as they've already established, in exchange for beating up that dude who is with all these underage girls, whenever they come in that restaurant, they're gonna get him free food. So Reggie's sitting up here ordering a half a thing of brisket or a whole thing of brisket. He done ordered a whole bucket of chicken. He ordered 24 biscuits. He ordered some corn. He ordered all kinds of baked beans. He ordered some coleslaw. He ordered almost everything on the menu. And then he wouldn't even stop. it got to the point where it was like, dang, what you talking about? Then he was like, and then the other dude was like, okay, so I won't. He was like, what you mean I won't? He just ordered for a whole army, which he did. He did the absolute most. So he was like, look, I want 25 wings, I want some fries, and I want this. Now my thing is this: if he had said, I want like 2 orders of 25 flats and some fries and this, that would have been fine. But this fool said brisket, he wanted a bucket of chicken, he wanted 2 dozen biscuits. He said like 5, 6 more things. That was just Reggie by himself. He did the absolute most. So he got tired of his spirit, was like, man, nobody got time for this. So he ended up doing it because he, was like, man, ain't nobody got time for all this. You want too much. Like, he was like, what is you talking about? You did appreciate what we did, right? And he basically made that the goon and some other people beat the people up. So any of his people coming there wanting food, he is obligated to get them food, per his word. So he was tired of his spirit, but he ended up having people cook it up for him. And while, they left the store, he ended up picking up a pie that he didn't even want. He was like, man, I don't even eat pie. So he laughed and threw the pie in the trash can. It was a whole pie. Yo, tell me why. Excuse me. Tell me why they are walking and then they see these motorcycles like Kawasaki, Suzuki, like motorcycles like that, not like Harleys or whatever. One of them motorcycles a couple of them pull up, right, and they have like little sexy ladies, so to speak, on the back. And so, of course, they looking at butt cheeks. They're looking at butt cheeks. And so they're like, yeah. So he was like, oh, what do we have here? Oh, yeah, you want to be dumb and distracted. They already knew that ahead of time. What's finna happen? Then one of the ladies pulled out a Mac 10 or a Mac 11 or whatever that machine gun is. Y'all, I don't even know I'm sad. I don't even know my guns no more. But she pulled out this weapon and sprayed Reggie down. Tore him to pieces. I said, oh my gosh. I said, oh my gosh. Shot him down, shot him up, shot him all around. I was like, oh Lord. So then the other dude, somehow I guess every single bullet was aimed at Reggie because old dude didn't get shot at all. Y'all, he tried to shoot back or whatever, and all of them, sped off because it's like a guy driving, and then there were women like on the back of the the motorcycles. Y'all, I was just like, y'all is doing way too much in your life. Y'all, tell me why old boy scooped him up and was like trying to run down the street with his body. Man, Reggie got to be dead because when we got to the end of the episode, they ended up having like somebody looked like they was from Child and Family Services or whatever y'all call it in Chicago, and a police officer go to the house and they retrieved Jacob, and his friends saw it and they was just standing there with their mouth open like, what is going on? And we saw Ronnie having a father-son moment with his daddy. Child, please, y'all could have kept that. I'm sorry, I don't care nothing about it. Kevin is trying to find himself and not be in his feelings all day, every day. And, he was trying to be mad at things that have happened because they didn't pan out the way he wanted them to. But whatever, he'll be all right. Brandon is with the police in like a secure vehicle watching as a groundbreaking is happening that Otis Perry is, of course, behind, and he's having photo ops, all this other stuff. And now he's trying to cooperate with the police. So he actually did go in for questioning, and he was trying to figure out, he was like, well, what do I need to do? So he went in on his own volition that time. This last time, he was like, what do I need to do? Because like I told y'all, they found that gun on his truck, and so old girl was like, look, you got 3 bodies on that gun. He was like, man, I ain't never shot nobody in my entire life. And so she was like, I believe you. But it's 3 bodies on that gun, and I don't want you. I want Otis Perry. So if you work with us, I promise you that I can protect you. So he's sitting there, he looking mad. He done lost his girl. He ain't got nothing. He literally has nothing but the bills that's finna start piling up at that place. Even though I'm pretty sure he should be able to pay him. Excuse me, but I don't know, because you know, and if he go down, I mean, what's gonna happen with the trucks and all this other stuff, y'all? I don't know. It's just too much. It's too much going on. Y'all, I'm sorry that this was so long, but the most was happening in this episode, and there were just a few other things I wanted to touch on. But anyway, I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. When y'all get to see it, hopefully y'all enjoy it like I did. Y'all let me know down in the comment section what you liked about it, what you hated about it, and you know, are you excited for next season as far as how you think it's gonna go? Because as we know, one of the main characters has gotten the boot because of his sexual misconduct. You know, the person who plays Brandon. So anyway, y'all let me know down in the comment section what's going on. Go ahead and like this video if you want to. If you ain't never been here before, or you've been scrolling around and you see my videos from now and then pop up because it's stuff that you follow and you like what I do, go ahead and subscribe if you want to. If not, that's fine. Like it if you want to. If you don't, that's fine as well. But anyway, I hope y'all are having a wonderful weekend, and I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.